Yesterday, a streamer set her kitchen on fire, and it was dangerously close to just becoming like a crematorium. It got out of control quickly and was handled in the worst possible ways by two people there. But luckily, nobody was hurt except for the kitchen. That took a beating. The kitchen got walloped.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, for sure. Alright.
It starts so innocent, simply cooking in your lingerie on stream, a pastime we can all relate to. I can't even remember the last time I went into my kitchen and tried to whip up some fucking spaghetti without my bare butt cheeks hanging out. Now you might be asking yourself, what mystery cuisine is she in the process of preparing here? When I was first watching this clip, because the clip that went viral is about a minute long, but I wanted the whole kit and caboodle, so I went to like most of this segment here, and I really thought that she was just playing with condoms and milk. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was some kind of weird science experiment. Turns out they're pickles. So she was going to fry some pickles and everything went south quick.
I have to play better than that.
I don't like pickles, but I've never had them fried before.
Oh, it's gonna be lost.
Oh, turn the fan on. Genius.
Lost. 25.
Should I turn the oil down? I don't know anything about this. I've never done this before. I've never fried them before.
Holy shit.
I think the oil might be ready though.
Yeah, I just.
Oh, I hate the smell of burning.
You know what game mode's playing?
I actually hate the smell of deep fryers.
Are you burning something?
Only a little bit.
Bro, what the fuck is that?
The cracks are already starting to show, and I'm not just talking about her ass. So the dude over there is like, is something burning? What's going on over there? Holy shit, did we get invaded by a smoke demon? Why is this happening? What in tarnation? And you can see she's over there with a giant puff of smoke like a ninja vanishing with a smoke bomb. And it's only going to get worse. So she's talking about how she's never fried anything before, so she doesn't really know what she's doing. She's kind of winging it. And I recognize I'm no culinary expert myself. We can all agree on that. But I would say, why not just look up a quick tutorial on, like, the steps to take? You know, just glance at WikiHow. So that way you might be able to prevent dying in a fiery doom. Like, we have technology.
Wait!
That shit is smoking so much.
It's the- Oh my god,
Oh my
Tanner's
God,
on fire!
it's on fire!
It's on fire!
Bro!
What do I do?
Turn it off! Turn it. What the fuck?
What do I do?
Bro,
what
turn
do
it
I
off!
do?
Turn it off!
Tanner, hurry up! Tanner,
Turn it off!
Tanner! Turn off!
I don't know what to do!
Honestly, just another great example of how detrimental panicking in a situation is. When you let fear take the wheel, your goose is already cooked. So she just starts yelling about how she doesn't know what to do, so she's frozen. She's out of the game, basically. She is on the bench now and is a spectator. She is no longer participating in trying to solve this issue that has been created. You know, as she's sitting there saying she doesn't know what to do, the fire is getting stronger. The Fire Nation is building up power. And now it's up to Tanner here to take control, but he's also panicking. So he's also just sitting there watching it. Now, Fire Marshal Charles here, what they should have done, the optimal solution here, would be just to put a lid on it. That would have been checkmate right then and there. But let's say there was no lid for this pan. The previous night a burglar broke in and stole it. You can use salt. It takes a lot of salt, but you can use like a few handfuls of salt on a small grease fire like this, and it will extinguish the flame.
Grab the...
Tanner!
Grab the...
Tanner! Grab it! Tanner!
What
Oh my
is
god, Tanner!
What is it?
Tanner!
What is it?
Oh my god, Tanner! Tanner!
I don't know what it is!
Grab the extinguisher! Tanner!
An interesting decision that ended up working out, so he ran in there and slapped the pan down like he was casting a fireball, and it basically shotgun blasted all the grease and fire across the kitchen, and it burnt everything that it touched, but the fire didn't spread, so it didn't burn the whole building down, luckily. But when you're panicking, you're not thinking rationally. You're really not thinking at all. You just start working off instinct, but that's not, I don't even think it's accurate to say instinct, because you start to go like stupid brain. Like your brain smooths out in moments of crisis and you start making the worst decisions ever. So I actually was in a kitchen fire scenario. It was never like out of control, but it was starting to get to that point. And for some reason, my little tiny reptile noodle up here thought, oh, okay, I'll just put this underwater, because it was small enough I could move it to the sink and pour water on it. That's actually the dumbest thing you can do. So when it comes to a grease fire, you can't put water on it. That's going to make it worse. And luckily, I caught myself before I did that, because I actually probably would have burnt my whole house down. So it's one of those things where once you lose your composure, once you stop being calm, you start making horrible choices. Like here.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. What? Keep doing that, please. Hold on, guys. I might... Oh, shit.
Now, I've seen a lot of people calling bullshit on this, saying that it's all staged, it's a load of horseradish, you know, it's not real, they did this for views. And I definitely do think we live in a time where someone would do that, but in their case, I don't think so. She gains nothing from it, except having everyone shooting spitballs at her, making fun of her, and I'm pretty sure I heard them say that they're in an apartment and that they were about to lose the security deposit because of this, because they just caused so much damage to the unit here. So I feel like there's really nothing to gain from it, unless she just has some kind of humiliation fetish and just wanted everyone to make fun of her. It'd be a really weird thing to stage. I think it's far more likely that this was a genuine instance of someone not knowing how to fry something and not knowing how to handle a grease fire. Interestingly enough, it's not the first time this has actually happened on stream.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Oh shit, oh fuck, 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 fuck. Oh fuck, 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 I don't know what to do, guys, I don't know what to do. Shit. Help, 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 help. Help! I don't know what to do, you guys! Guys, I don't know what to do! Help! Help!
Once again, panicking almost led to a much worse situation when she ran it underwater, spread the fire more, started throwing the fire around like she was tossing out candy on Halloween, but with fire here in the kitchen. And then she's shouting for help. Like, what do you want me to do, lady? Jump through the computer and put it out myself or something? Like, come on. Point is, I don't think it was staged. If it was a really stupid idea, because the kitchen does get really fucked up from it. Like, it's not fake. They definitely didn't CGI this on some kind of advanced soundstage. Like, they're not in the studio where they filmed The Mandalorian or anything. It'd be a really dumb thing to stage, because I don't think she stands to gain very much from it, regardless. But maybe there's a good lesson to be learned here for anyone that didn't know how to handle a grease fire prior to this. Just don't do anything you saw them do. What you do, you fucking put a lid on it if you can find one. That should be like your go-to strat. I think that is the tried and true method. It's just the optimal strategy, really. In my opinion. There's a couple different tactics, but I think that one's just the simplest. And of course, remain as calm as possible. I know it's easier said than done, you know, there's definitely some times where I'll be in like an emergency situation and doing nothing productive. I'll just sit there going, ah! 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 Like actually accomplishing nothing. Like I get it, but that's the worst thing you can do. Just do your best to stay as composed as you can, so that way you don't end up just making worse choices for the situation there. That's really about it. See ya. There's a Kick streamer whose name I've treated like Voldemort over the last year or so. I've never bothered talking about her because that's the only thing she cares about, is her name leaving people's lips no matter how negative it is. She exists for one sole purpose: to make everyone around her angry at her. It's in her delusional mind, the brain parasites tell her that that's a good thing. So I've just never bothered insulting her or making fun of her, because that's like having sex with a cuck's wife. It's exactly what they want. But today she did something particularly heinous.
Right?
No.
No. All right. You know why I wasn't going to? Because my feet were getting
You should
hot.
just jump in right
But
now.
I'm gonna jump in with my shoes on.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, ready? Oh! Wait, what the fuck?
I love how she's somehow surprised that the lady jumped in after she spent the better part of 15 minutes trying to convince her to jump in and even tried to bribe her with $20 to do so. And now all of a sudden she's fucking soy-facing, shocked that the lady actually did it. So I went back and I watched most of the stream, which was... I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. Now, she's gone viral in the past for other degenerate activity, such as wearing painted-on pants at a gym, or doing a kidnapping children prank and faking a ton of shit around all of her other work to try and cause as much controversy as possible to farm clout off of it. But this one is a little bit different. So, the lady she had jump in is someone who apparently cannot swim. She said that she can only float and can't swim. And I initially thought that this was just more staged, phony baloney, garbage. But from a couple of the articles I read, they're reporting that the fire department in the area really did pull a woman out of that lake on this day. So it does seem like it's real.
Yeah, do you want to have a play date?
You want to jump in with me?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll do it with you.
I'd rather go skinny dipping with you, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, let's do it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I'll do
Chad,
it.
they're all saying you're sexy and shit.
Really?
Yeah, they're all saying W woman, she's thick as fuck. You should jump in the water to find it for me.
Well, why don't you jump in with me?
I'll give you $20.
$20?
Yeah, that's a W.
No, come
That's
on,
a good deal.
jump in with me.
$20.
Hot.
Yeah, so you go
No,
in.
you gotta go in.
You
with
go
me.
in. You try to find the
You
scanner.
said you're gonna jump in with me.
I'll jump in after you.
We're jumping together.
The Kick streamer is on a scavenger hunt trying to locate the final Dragon Ball so she can finally make a wish to be something other than the failure that she is, and she encounters this woman who's on the dock. And she tries to convince that woman to jump in the water to look for the tracker that she's trying to hunt. So she's putting on a fucking Shark Tank pitch here, saying that she'll give the lady $20 to jump in, and that, she'll follow once she jumps in, this and that, and then basically is just trying to farm her for content so that way the stream can laugh at this lady jumping in the water when the streamer never had any plans of doing so. And their interaction lasts like 10-ish minutes before the lady jumps in the water, and it seems as though she's quite vulnerable. So it's extremely fucking sad to see her being exploited by this Kick degenerate here and put into a position that's life-threatening because allegedly she can't swim, which is why the fire department eventually got called, which you do see on stream a bit later.
Did you see her ass? What? Oh,
You said it was okay.
You said you wanted to swim.
You told me to jump in.
I didn't tell you to jump in.
Yes,
Yeah, you did.
did.
Just
You said you were gonna
Thank you guys. We're gonna have you guys get off the stop.
Wait, who is that? What the fuck is going on? We should... I don't even...
I can't swim. I can only float.
Oh, she might literally die.
No, stop. Seriously, don't stop. Please, you're actually freaking me out. No, please.
You can really see the concern wash over each of their smiling faces as they're confronted with the very real possibility that that woman might drown and die because of the streamer's actions. I really wish this streamer had stuck with her OnlyFans as opposed to trying to pivot her career into just being an absolute insufferable piece of shit. I know her OnlyFans was flopping harder than Morbius, but by God, I mean, it might save lives if she had just stuck with it. The butterfly effect you can never fully comprehend until it's too late. So anyway, the woman that she has prodded into jumping in the water is now saying that she can't swim, and they're laughing about it because she might die, and to them that's hilarious. They can't stop giggling like someone's over there tickling their armpits. It's craziness. Like, the dude comes over and he's like, she might die. Fucking the camera goober over here is so excited. Like, he's like zooming in, trying to get like the last moments of like the air that she'll get from the surface before she goes under, praying that maybe this is the moment that he's able to bond close enough to the streamer where she might give him a peck on the cheek and thank him for his service. Like, she is surrounded by these henchmen that orbit her, just swarm her like mosquitoes on a pile of dog shit. And this is something that was prevalent throughout the entire stream. They're literally just there to try and have sex with her, is what it seems like. No one enjoys being around her. They don't like her company, from what I can tell.
Yeah, we have like phones and stuff, so that would freaking suck.
Would you be able to hold this for 1 minute?
No.
Is it because you're afraid of getting called a simp?
Yeah, I don't like it.
They're saying you're alpha male. You're not
No,
a
they're
simp.
not.
Yes, they are. They're saying alpha.
Absolutely. they're
Everybody's
not.
spamming alpha male, alpha male.
Okay.
Sorry to say, brother, but I've got to diagnose you with a very severe case of simp. You might not like it, but it's a tough pill to swallow. That is literally what you are. Textbook definition. All of the insects that are around her fall into that category. When I went through and watched the stream, all of them seemed like perpetually annoyed by her, but were trying their best to hide it. And they're used as punching bags by her and her community to laugh at them and insult them. Like, how could, like, it's so pathetic. It's not just her that's pathetic. It's the people that surround her, too.
Please, God. No, she's floating.
Drowning.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself. She says she's drowning.
Oh, this is bad.
We leave.
Oh, this is bad.
Invaluable assistance provided by her and her team of dweebs. They just read chat messages and laughed at it. Which obviously is helping her get to safety. She's out there drowning, but luckily all of the chat messages that the streamer and her team were reading were helping lift her to the surface and carry her to shore. They just fucking left. They recognized what was going on. They recognized the very real possibility that this woman might die, and they just said, alright, I'm out, ski. Time to bounce. We're gonna scram now. Good luck. And they just leave her there. That's fucking insanity. And they laugh about it because people like her don't treat the other human beings around them as if they're real people. To her, everyone else is just an NPC, a prop that she can use for content and nothing else. That's the extent of their presence in her world. And once they've outlived their usefulness, she doesn't care about them, which is why she clearly doesn't give a fuck that that woman might drown out there, because she doesn't even view them as a person. That was just a piece of content for her, so she has no qualms about just leaving.
She says she's drowning. She says she's drowning.
I think you literally just murdered a lady.
No, I didn't. I swear.
I think you
No,
literally.
I didn't. Let's go. There, she's drowning in the lake.
God, there's a fire truck. Nah, this is bad.
Like I said, I was initially skeptical when I saw this clip blowing up on Twitter because she has a history of faking shit. So I thought this might be another scripted thing just to get some, like, rage clicks to her stream, which I always think is a dumb fucking business decision. But when I went back and watched all of this happen as it unfolded on the stream, this does seem very real, because that fire truck does show up at, like, a very quick time from the second that she gets in the water and other people are, you know, catching on to what just happened, to them telling the streamer and her friends to leave. The fire truck pulls up only a matter of minutes later, so I'm guessing they must have called 911. They sent out the emergency response team to save this lady who can't swim. So it all does seem real. This doesn't seem like it's all just a bunch of fucking smoke and mirrors here as some kind of, you know, ingenious supervillain play from this kick streamer to try and get a couple extra viewers. She is just a piece of shit. She actually would have killed that woman if there weren't others around to call 911. That's unfathomable to me. Not only did she not do anything to help, but the dudes that are with her did nothing to help. All they did was laugh at the situation where someone's life was actually in danger. That's so fucked up.
I did not know she was mentally ill. I thought she was just trying to have fun. I thought she was drunk or something. I don't know what you guys are talking about. What? Wait, why is she just here though? If she's like mentally ill, does she just like roam around the like area? Of course this happens like what? 30 minutes of my stream? Like I spent time convincing someone to jump. See, now she's just floating in the water. I think she's on drugs.
I just had to toss this little turd nugget in here as a little bonus clip. This is after she convinces the woman to jump in the water and she leaves the dock. She tries to, like, play the victim here, where she's like, oh, of course this happens 30 minutes into my stream. This selfish, mentally ill woman comes up to me and, well, I have to try and exploit her for content, so I convince her to jump in the water, and it turns out she's mentally ill. What's she doing here? You know, getting me in potential trouble 30 minutes into my stream. Oh my goodness gracious. Playing the victim is her bread and butter, by the way. That's her signature anime finishing move. She always defaults to playing the victim in every situation that she causes. If I had to give her like one compliment, I'd say that she's talented at being a professional victim. She always does shit like this. So even in this situation, where she even knows she is 100% in the wrong, she goes on Twitter after this all blew up and said, "The lady wanted to swim. They told me to leave and stop filming. That's why we left. And she got the help she needed and is fine. Stop dragging me. Allah." What she did is indefensible, and she knows that. I watched the stream. She mentioned it and wrestled with it in her fucking empty little noodle multiple times about how she might have killed that lady. And she just doesn't care that much about that. All she cares about is whether or not it's going to lead to a viral clip and maybe a couple of extra viewers. That's it. And then she goes on Twitter and is like, "Oh, actually, everything was totally fine. We couldn't help because they told us to leave." They told you to leave because you weren't helping. You caused the problem and then did nothing to actively try and help in any way. So obviously they would want you out of there. You could have still done something to help. You could have called 911. Them telling you to leave doesn't just fucking, launch an EMP that disables all your electronics where you can't dial 911. You could have called for help if you didn't want to actually get in the water and try and help her yourself. Like, it's so stupid. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible excuse. It's not something you can ever possibly make an excuse for, but she still tries to get a couple like wah French cries in here, trying to drum up some sympathy for herself, even though she is just a piece of shit. Plain and simple. All she cares about is making people mad, so that way maybe people find her fucking awful streams. That's it. So I bet she is smiling right now. And in fact, I know she is, because I was watching her stream as I was making this video. She's live again. She doesn't care. This is a good thing for her. I think she's seeing more viewers than she was previously, so I bet she thinks this whole thing was absolutely fucking worth it, because she's not going to face any repercussions for this. It doesn't seem like anything's going to come from it, like on a legal side or criminal side or anything like that. So to her, this was just a smart play. Almost killing a woman on Kick for some extra viewers. So yeah, this lady super sucks. I think she is fucking terrible. That's really about it. So yeah. It's not your birthday, or if it is, I wasn't invited to your party, but I brought you a surprise anyway. A trashy streamer who hit a pedestrian whilst driving distracted and most likely high out of her mind. And she's not a Kick streamer. I know, right? Kick right now is probably just wiping sweat from their brow like, whew, finally. A crime that was streamed that wasn't on our platform, pumping their fist in the office, shaking each other's hands like they won the Super Bowl. She is a YouTube streamer, so let the celebrations commence at Kick. The Gatorade showers are probably in full effect over there. She streams on YouTube, and from what I can tell, and I've only gone through like 3 of her streams, her entire streams revolve around how degenerate she is. She's usually very fucking high. According to the community that watches her, she does meth pretty often before driving. She's always on her phone while driving. It's where all of her content takes place, so she's always looking at chat, getting donations, very distracted driving. And she also had an incident where she was doing Spark deliveries and giving groceries to a customer, and her dog is in the back seat with all of these groceries and ends up peeing on the chips and taking a shit on the other groceries with an entire worm that pops out of its ass like it's a scene out of Ozzy and Drix. And how does she respond to that? She wipes the worm off of the groceries and then still delivers them to the customer who had no idea. I'm going to show you both of these clips here. I'm going to start with where she hit a pedestrian yesterday.
Well, he does hear those voices. They're not fake, but I wonder sometimes. Oh my god, are you okay?
No. What the fuck did you do?
I didn't see her.
Why are you not looking?
I was looking. I didn't see you.
What the fuck?
I'm telling you, I did not see you.
Okay, and? What the fuck?
Just tell me how I can help.
Well, I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Oh my god, you guys. I don't know what just happened, but it wasn't good.
What do you mean you don't know what just happened? Are your eyes lagging? Is this a latency problem, like the ping's too bad so your eyes haven't caught up with what's going on here? Is your brain stuck in Narnia? You just hit a human being because you're too fucking busy talking to your stream. You're not paying attention to the road. what's actually surprising here is this is one of the few times in all the clips I've seen where she actually is looking forward as opposed to like looking elsewhere and looking at her phone, and yet somehow she still doesn't see that there's people in front of her and she hits one, and then I guess still can't make heads or tails of what just happened. It's craziness. You are distracted and driving. It's a recipe for disaster. Luckily, she didn't kill this person, I don't think. Now, she has been arrested in the past, but this I don't think she's faced anything from yet, because she still is streaming, like even after this incident, and she has changed nothing about her stream.
I plan on it. I plan on it. Can I park? Can I park? All right, guys, here's your content for the day.
Ah, yes, the content of hitting a pedestrian. Top shelf shit. Thanks for delivering that. She's a menace. She is a danger to everyone around her. She should not be allowed to drive. Period. Full stop. From everything I've seen, she is not safe to be on the road. And she is certainly not safe to be doing fucking grocery deliveries.
No, get off of it, dude.
The worm that came out of the dog's ass has nothing on the worms that infest this lady's brain. A normal person would have seen what happened here, and it's not like she didn't know it happened. She literally cleaned off a fucking worm from the groceries, and they would have canceled the order. Because there's a level of decency with people where they wouldn't want to just fucking poison a stranger here, I don't think. At least, I'd like to believe that. But she's built a little different. She's constructed in an unorthodox manner. After wiping the worm from the groceries, she believed that everything was A-OK and primed for delivery. No mention at all to the customer about all the piss and shit on the groceries. Like, at the very least, you could say, like, hey, so my dog's in the car, and he kind of had, like, a field day with his bowels on your food. Also his bladder. Just want to give you a fair warning in case you don't want to consume dog piss and shit. Just thought you should be aware of it. But no, she's like, hey, here's your groceries. Hey, have a good day. Bye-bye. Make sure to leave 5 stars. Appreciated. And then goes right back into her car to continue the stream. That is so foul and filthy, and it's criminal. Like, you can't contaminate people's food and not, like, at least warn them about the potential outbreak. Like, we could be dealing with, like, the goddamn T-virus that spawns from this when the lady eats the piss and shit-covered groceries. Like, it's so gross. It's so disgusting. Even the dog looks out the window and is probably just revolted, like, oh, jeez. Yoo-hoo, pardon. Oh, goodness, she's not going to deliver those groceries. I just shat on them. That would be so foul. Oh my god, she's doing it. No, oh, please, Jinkies. Jiminy Christmas, my god. My owner's a fucking Neanderthal. She's a goddamn idiot. Like, even the dog is looking out the window concerned. And to be honest, I'm concerned for the dog. The dog doesn't seem to be in great health if it's pooping worms in the car. Like, I'm worried for that dog now.
Abby always wins, sent $2. Can we talk about how Abby dropped the deuce on their groceries? She peed on chips. Is she okay? I think she needs to go out. Poop, 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 poop. Dog, 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 dog.
The chatters are also concerned about the dog after seeing that, and yet there's no mention at all about the customer who is going to unknowingly consume the dump doomsday that was just produced on top of their food. But luckily this streamer does have an answer to go ahead and calm everyone's fears about the food being ruined. I mean, it's just piss and shit. That doesn't ruin food, which she helps us understand.
So Abigail went out like 3 times today and she hasn't pooped. She's peed. Once at the vet, once before that, and then the nighttime, like 2 in bag. It was not on anything else I checked. I removed it. All is well. That's what bags are for, right? To protect.
Hey pal, you just blow into stupid town? You can't really wipe piss away unless you have sponge hands, which I don't think you do, and also dog shit and worms on top of the grocery bags that the food is in. Like, there's no telling what made it through, especially since it sat there for a little bit before you came in there and apparently scraped it off. That's not exactly the optimal sanitization protocol. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit you with the cold water. You didn't get all of it. I promise you that much. But she clearly doesn't view it as a big deal, probably because she's smoking dog piss every day and then going live on YouTube here, which is just a danger to everyone around her. My heart breaks for anyone that gets a delivery done by this lady. That shit is probably rancid. Like, I bet everyone who... Like, you could probably, as an epidemiologist, track foodborne illness outbreaks relative to how many deliveries she's made in the area. And you'd find a pretty crazy correlation, would be my guess. Now, she has been arrested before in the past. I did a bit of a dive on her history. She is a very interesting specimen, to say the very least. But as of right now, I don't believe she's facing any legal repercussions from the delivering contaminated food to a customer or the hitting of a pedestrian. I don't see any updates on that, but those are still relatively new. So, I guess we'll see, but man, what an absolute trash bag of a person. This is some awful garbage here. So yeah, I had to talk about this a little bit. I was stunned when I saw these clips. That's it. So yeah. This is one of those very rare, serious videos I make about a situation that I feel is just very important to cover. Last night in Ybor, which is a place that's close to where we live here in Tampa, there was a shooting that left 2 dead and 16 to 18, the reports are varying, injured. It started as an altercation between people that escalated into guns being drawn and fired, and 16 to 18 people were caught in the crossfire. It wasn't a planned mass shooting. It was a fight that turned into a mass shooting, basically. There's tons of footage from this, including the start of the shooting. I'm clearly not going to show you any of that. And unfortunately, myself and my friends were actually there last night when it happened. Like most people in Tampa, we went down to Ybor to party for Halloween. The shooting happened around 3 a.m., and most of us were still out at that time. Half of us were still in a club, like myself. Some of us had just started going home, and then one of our friends, Peyton, was actually walking on 7th Avenue, which is where the shooting took place. She said she was only a couple blocks away and actually saw the shooting happen. She then called Caleb, who was with me at the club, and he could hear the gunshots in the background as she was trying to warn us to stay inside and not go out under any circumstances. It's a horrifying nightmare. She mentioned she also saw some of the bodies, and I can't even imagine what she must be feeling about the situation that unfolded in front of her. Most of you know I have quite a few irrational fears, like flying. But one fear I have that I don't think is irrational or weird, and probably plenty of you who are also American have a fear of, is mass shootings. It doesn't seem like they're that uncommon anymore. So to have one actually happen where we were is indescribably terrible. And my heart absolutely breaks for anyone that was involved in the situation. It's unimaginable. The club we were at is a couple minutes walk away from where the shooting took place, so we were far enough away that we weren't in danger, but we were close enough that when we left, we could see where the cops and the whole thing had taken place, because it's just one street and you can just see down there. It's an extremely sad situation. The 2 deceased victims were a 14-year-old and a 22-year-old. It's so fucking infuriating to not feel safe anymore out in public because you never know when it might just turn into a mass shooting because 2 people got upset. Just senseless gun violence over fucking nothing. It is horrifying. It's beyond scary. And at the time, all we knew is what Peyton told us. But when we got into our Uber and were heading home and we all got back safely, that's when we started to see clips of what exactly happened. And one of the clips that we saw, probably the biggest clip that we saw, came from a live streamer who was there.
Oh, they wallin'. Listen.
The streamer caught a lot of shit for this because he is heard audibly belly laughing about the situation, and you can see him smiling ear to ear here, looking like he just got told the best joke in the world while also being tickled during a shooting. He has made a statement about this. He was replying to someone who gave him the benefit of the doubt, saying, "I don't think enough people know that in traumatic situations, people often react in ways that people who are uninvolved would see as inappropriate. This is how the brain works to protect us in moments of distress." To which he said, "Also, I was very intoxicated. As I said before, I hope everyone made it out safe, and I would never intentionally laugh at a situation like this." I don't think there's enough alcohol in the world to make you drunk enough to laugh during a mass shooting, but what they're describing here about laughing during traumatic situations is a real phenomenon. I am familiar with that. I've seen that before when studying in college. It's something we went over, and I don't necessarily know if I believe him that that's what happened, because he seemed extremely excited, almost celebrating that he was capturing these moments on his stream. Maybe he viewed it as content, or perhaps a big break, knowing his stream would be shared around in the news about this. I don't really know. But there is something still very off-putting about the way he responds to it, but I'm just going to go ahead and also give him the benefit of the doubt that perhaps this really is just how he responds to traumatic situations like this. But he did, a couple hours after this happened, make this tweet where he was replying to a news organization that posted his footage talking about the shooting in Ybor, and he said, "Yo, no props is crazy, not gonna lie, but hope everyone in the situation made it out safe." And then someone in the comments called him out saying, so someone said, "Props, this ain't no game, what the fuck?" And then he said, "Not the gun, props like it's my video, and I ain't get credit." This is a very weird response, in my opinion here, because it seems like the first thing on his mind is getting credit for them using that footage, which to me screams that he wants the attention from being the one to capture these moments. I feel like if his primary concern was the safety of all those around them and wishing them well that they got out safely, that would have been his main statement, instead of leading with, "It's crazy that I didn't get props, not gonna lie." Like, that to me really rubs me the wrong way. But again, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not going to pretend that I can read his mind. I'm also not trying to direct any harassment his way. This isn't like the focus of the video or anything, but these were the clips that we started to see right after the fact, and all of us were understandably like disturbed by what happened, and then also seeing someone laughing during it was extremely concerning. So I did want to talk about just that for a moment. I have made quite a few videos talking about how I believe there's a lot of influencers out there that just literally don't value human life and they just view the people around them as props. I've made the joke in the past that some of these content creators live by the motto, "Life is temporary, clout is forever," so they'll do anything in pursuit of clout, including perhaps using a shooting as a marketing tool to promote their stream. I hope that's not the case here. I'm not familiar with the streamer, so I can't really speak to their character or anything. I hope this is just one of those like defense mechanisms in a traumatic situation where unfortunately he laughs during it, and it's not him viewing it as some kind of like, you know, piece of content for his stream. But anyway, I'd like to state the obvious real quick, that it genuinely feels unsafe leaving the house. Every time you walk out the front door, it feels like you're taking an extreme risk in a dangerous environment. Even just going somewhere to have fun with your friends can instantly turn into the worst night of your life that changes everything forever, because two strangers just randomly start shooting each other over nothing and catching innocent people in the crossfire. One thing that I think is also important if you're not familiar with Ybor is every single night in Ybor, well, at least on the weekends when I've been, they have like 50, at least 50 officers roaming the streets with their patrol cars. Some of them are even on horseback as well. And still, this happened. Even with all of that, this shooting happened in front of like 50 officers being there. Even with a strong police presence, they couldn't prevent 16 to 18 people getting injured in a shooting and 2 people dying from it. So there is a super, super strong police presence in that area where this shooting took place, and there was still nothing they could do to prevent it or stop the loss of life in a random shooting like this. It just happens too quick, and it is so fucking scary. But anyway, I don't want to focus on this for too long. My heart goes out to everyone that was affected by this, and my best wishes with the families of the deceased. That's about it. So yeah. What is the most tragic thing you've ever seen happen during a Twitch stream? Is it watching your favorite streamer lose a tournament they've trained for a long time? Is it watching your favorite Twitch streamer lose $1 million on a slot machine? Maybe it's you donating $100 to your favorite hot tub streamer and she forgets to write your name on her body. Or maybe you were watching my stream last night where I went 7-1 in my placements for Overwatch 2 and got placed in Bronze 5, the literal lowest division in the game. Point is, there's been a lot of very sad moments broadcast on Twitch, but what I want to talk to you about today is by far one of the saddest. This is the story of a streamer named Gimpy God. Gimpy God is a quadriplegic streamer who suffers from a rare form of muscular dystrophy, and he's a man that I've come to know over the last 6 or so months. And last year, during one of his streams, his house caught fire. Luckily, him and his family and pets all got out safely in time, but it still cost them everything else.
Oh no.
In the middle of Lance Carr's Saturday afternoon gaming.
Our garage is on fire.
His whole life, along with his family's, who he depends on 100% for mobility.
May I have my head up, pal?
Yeah. Changed.
What happened? Grant, do I gotta go?
Yeah. This live stream on a website, Twitch, catching the moments his nephew Trenton came into the room and helped him escape.
This is difficult to watch because he's having a really good time and joking and, keeping everybody enthused. And then, 20 minutes from now, his house is going to burn down.
The house was unlivable, garage completely burnt to the ground. And insurance, of course, helps, but it's been a battle between them and the insurance company to get as much covered as possible. Unfortunately, this hasn't included any of the adaptable equipment that was outfitted in the home, and it also doesn't include the handicap-accessible van that they had. The van is a really peculiar situation, so it was parked in the driveway, but the fire was so intense that it still engulfed that van and the other vehicle in flames and completely charred them, fucking torched them. It was like Amaterasu out of Naruto. It just wouldn't stop until the vehicles were destroyed. And insurance has made the big, bold statement that they won't be reimbursing the van or helping out there because it was in the driveway and not in the garage. So Lance Carr, Gimpy God, said that they would have been better off if one of his relatives had just fucking slammed on the accelerator of the van and crashed it into the garage, so that way it would burn inside as opposed to the driveway. Then they would have had a better chance of getting assistance with the van, which just sounds so cartoonishly evil to make a big hubbub of 3 feet between where the van burnt and where the garage was. So you're telling me if that van was just 3 feet forward, like at least touching the garage door, it would have been okay and insurance would have helped. It's so fucked up. It's super frustrating. And over the last year now, the entire Carr family has been staying at like hotels, and Lance himself has had some medical issues that have come up recently, and it's just been a very hard time for the entire family. I want to quickly show you the clip from Gimpy God's stream where the house caught on fire.
Now I need a helmet and we'll be in good shape. I put absolute crap on her, so that was no fair.
I'm not sure what it is now. I mean, the room's full of smoke. He's out, everything's hopefully fine, but it's, it's been one of those days for people.
The video is sped up a bit, but you can see the room filling with smoke, and shortly after, the stream goes out. Now, Lance games using a special piece of adaptive equipment that allows his eyes to work like his mouse so he can play games. Unfortunately, all of that was lost in the fire. Pretty much everything in the house was lost to it. Just an extremely sad and horrifying situation. There's at least a little good news though, since it's been about a year now, they're finally getting close to moving back into a home, so that way things can potentially start going back to normal. But that doesn't include any adaptive equipment, which is very expensive. So I'm doing a bit of a charity stream fundraiser to help Gimpy God and his family so they can hopefully afford the adaptive equipment again and improve Lance's quality of life. Over the last year, they've been in and out of hotels and hospitals, so Lance hasn't actually even been able to have a proper bath. He's only been able to get sponge baths in that entire time. At the house, they had this track system which would lift Lance and be able to put him in a bathtub so he could be properly washed. But since that equipment all burnt, they've been unable to do that for almost a year now. So I just want to try and help out. So right now at twitch.tv/Moistcr1tikal, we're getting real wacky and goofy and wild, doing a big stream to help raise funds for the family. So please feel free to stop in, but don't feel obligated or pressured into donating. Just stopping by and watching to support is amazing as well. And of course, as always, per usual, I'll have a link to the stream in the description of the video. So yeah, I just wanted to share a bit of Lance's story here. He's a great guy, and his family and him have fallen on hard times, but things are looking up, and I'd just like to do whatever I can to help improve Lance's quality of life, as well as just help the family out as much as possible. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah, just one short week ago, everything we thought we knew changed forever. It was like when Albert Einstein came up with the theory of relativity. It's all been shaken now. I still remember the glory days before August 29th, 2022, living in an ignorant bliss, naive to how corrupt Twitch had become with their enforcement of their own rules. That's right, August 29th is a date that will go down in infamy as the day that Twitch showed its true face and brought with it a catastrophe, a devastating Coombs Day, when a streamer got fucked live on Twitch and Twitch responded with the lightest ban of all time. I already talked about this in a video, but I wanted to follow up because they've decided to stick with their initial decision of a 7-day ban. So a week ago now, a streamer by the name of Kimika had sex live on Twitch while an entire marching band clapped and cheered her on in the chat. It was about 100 concurrent viewers at the time. I don't know if the coitus actually reached its climax. I couldn't tell you because she got banned before anyone finished, except for some of the people in the chat, I'm sure. But overall, a very successful stream because normally she averages like 20 viewers, and this one, it was triple digits. So she got paid a visit by old Saint Nicholas, and it was broadcast live on Twitch, and she paid the iron price. She got banned. And you would expect that Twitch would crack down pretty hard on it, since this is their #1 golden rule that you can't bend and you cannot break. Streamers have been banned for months if they wore clothing that was too revealing. So having full-blown, cheek-clapping, ham-steaming sex on Twitch, you would expect there to be some pretty big consequences, a permanent ban. But that wasn't the case. Twitch decided to not even give like a slap on the wrist. They gave just a playful little tap on the tuchus. They gave her a 7-day ban, and now she's back to streaming, and her return stream has been her biggest stream ever, clocking in at 800 viewers at one point, blowing her previous numbers out of the water, and skyrocketing her follower count from 30 to right around 2K right now, 2 to 4K. For some reason I'm getting mixed data. On Twitch it shows 2K, but on some of the Twitch tracking sites it shows 4K. But regardless, she's had a massively positive gain from this whole thing. Alright, thanks to Caleb and I doing some super sleuthing, we've cracked the case. The reason why there's a big follower discrepancy as well as peak viewership discrepancy is because she had 2 accounts. On one of her accounts, she broadcast the Gland-to-Gland combat, and this is the account that gained 4,000 followers. The account with 4K followers, she closed, but she did a comeback stream on there, and there's still some clip evidence of it. So here you can see her most viewed clips are from September 4th, the comeback stream, 27,000 views, which is significantly more than she was getting before the penis meets vagina incident. And she gained a lot from it. Not only on Twitch, but one of her socials gained 100,000 followers on there. So just an absolutely genius marketing strategy to just fuck on Twitch and just profit. And she closed this account, like I said, she threw it away like a crusty cum towel. However, she does have another account that's still active and I'm imagining is the one she's going to be using going forward, and that's the account that's gained 2,000 followers, and it's also an affiliate because you can subscribe to it. I don't know if it was an affiliate pre-coitus or post-coitus, I'm really not sure. I can't imagine Twitch banned her and then rewarded her for having sex with an affiliate deal, but who knows? Twitch seems so mismanaged when it comes to their rules, it's baffling. But what I want to talk about is what this means going forward. Twitch has set a precedent with this. And it's not just this, there's been plenty of other examples, but this is by far their biggest because it was just blatantly having sex live on Twitch, which so far hasn't been done before outside of just rebroadcasting porn. This was a streamer having sex live, and Twitch's response was a very light ban. So what does this mean? This means that any streamer going forward might honestly consider this as an actual tactic for growth. This was only her 8th stream ever, I think. I was going through all of her previous broadcasts, and I'm pretty sure this was her 8th stream. She had only streamed, I think, 24 hours in total across her entire streaming career until she fucked. And once she did that, that's when she had all of this massive growth from it. Prior to this incident, she would get between 20 and 50 viewers per stream. After this incident, so far she's only had one stream, but she never dropped under like 150. So it was extremely successful. It really does feel like a viable strategy for Twitch, since it seems like they don't care that much about it. So if I was writing a WikiHow guide on gaining followers on Twitch, this would be on the list of best practices. Just full-blown fuck. Get your back blown out on Twitch and take a 7-day vacation, come back to more viewers, more money, more followers. It's like an actual life hack. Want to get Twitch famous and become a big live streamer? Just have sex on cam. You'll be shocked at how well it works. Doctors don't want you to know this one simple trick. It's really just pretty sad. There are people that have been banned for so long for such little things. Again, Gideon is still permanently banned for one instance of bad behavior on rating another streamer with mean words. And yet, somehow, the biggest possible sin you can commit on Twitch is only a 7-day ban and is nothing but rewarding for the streamer that did it. It's just crazy. Their priorities are so out of whack, none of it makes any sense whatsoever. I would love for them to explain how this constituted only a 7-day ban. And I do genuinely wonder if this will become a more popular trend after people see how successful this was for Kimika. So yeah, I mean, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because I was absolutely blown away. I was expecting Twitch to not unban her, just quietly make it a permaban instead of making a big song and dance out of it, but no, it seems like they're pretty adamant that having sex on their service is not that big of an issue. So, oh well, that's really about it. See ya. Why do good girls like bad guys? Why do Twitch streamers like to take a shit and ruin their entire career in an instant? I don't have the answers to these questions. I'm not Socrates. All I know is a Twitch streamer yesterday by the name of Carl burned down his entire career in a matter of seconds. And I know hearing streaming and career in the same sentence is vomit-inducing to some, makes you want to just spit. Gross. I understand, because as far as careers go, streaming's one of the easier ones, also one of the safest from coronavirus. Wouldn't be surprised if the WHO starts recommending everyone stops going outside and just streaming League of Legends. But anyway, I get why some people are a bit repulsed by the idea of streaming being a career, but it's time to get with reality it is. And to a lot of people, it's their entire lives, as it was for Carl. And yesterday, in just one brief split second, it all vanished, like the world's saddest magic trick. Let me show you the clip.
Bitch, say I ain't got money. Say I ain't got money. God damn. What the fuck?
This is what's commonly known as a negligent discharge of a firearm, or as we call it on the internet, a big fucking oopsie. Carl just executed a tub of G Fuel live on stream. I get not liking some of the flavors, but to just put it down like the fucking Punisher here is pretty hardcore. You're also probably wondering why he has his grandmother's slipper on his desk. It's because he was doing shoeies, so he was a bit drunk at the time. For anyone that doesn't know what a shoey is, you're too young to be around these parts, but I'll tell you anyway. It's when you pour the alcohol in a shoe and you drink it. It's pretty easy to comprehend, and it's pretty disgusting. It tastes like you're drinking beer out of a septic tank. It'd be better just to drink the beer out of your car's exhaust, at least then it wouldn't taste as fucking gross. But anyway, he was a bit inebriated, and he had his gun on standby just in case some rogue gamer assassins came to steal his V-Bucks, and unfortunately, the man prematurely ejaculated here and did a bit of a desk pop. It just absolutely blasted around through both his tub of G Fuel and a monitor, and luckily no one was hurt. It didn't go through the next room and take out anyone or anything like that, which is lucky, and he didn't kill himself with it, which is also lucky. So it definitely could have been a lot worse, but I do think this is a really good advertisement for whatever fucking microphone he's using, because that shit didn't even clip. It wasn't ear rapey, it was totally normalized. This man just blasted a gun in a very closed environment, and I could barely even hear it. It was barely even louder than his voice. That's shocking. Sometimes when I'm streaming at twitch.tv/moistcritical, I'll casually burp and it sounds like 3 frag grenades going off into the ears of anyone with headphones on. So I don't know what he's using, but this has actually convinced me that I probably need to pick that shit up. Another thing I'd like to point out is I think this actually serves as a really interesting case study into the mind of a Twitch streamer/YouTuber, because after this mistake he immediately gets into YouTube thumbnail position with the classic shock-faced Ali A style, some of these. And then, bubble text over it, "This happened? How?" And then the circle with the arrow pointing at it, at the gun while it's shooting. Fucking blasting his coffee can and G Fuel shit. So, I think that's really impressive, that speed, to go from, just ruin my career, to, well, let's profit off that. Right into the thumbnail. So, hats off to him for that quick turnaround time, but goddamn, it actually did cost him everything. I'm not exaggerating. He got banned on Twitch, as you'd expect, for, shooting a goddamn gun on it, and you can't even think about titties or ass on Twitch without getting banned, and this guy just fired a fucking gun live on stream, putting down a tub of G Fuel, which is a sin in and of itself. You knew he was getting banned there. He speed ran that. But he also got dropped from his professional gaming organization, Soar. Soar dropped him in a matter of hours. It was as if he shot that gun, and it traveled through the wall and hit the CEO. Their response time to that was crazy. They dropped him like a fucking potato immediately. Potato sacked the poor guy. Now, in response to all this, he accepted all responsibility, made an apology video on Twitter, which I have nothing against. It seemed like he understood the repercussions, and he believed he deserved them, and he's going to try to work on his firearm usage, I suppose. I don't know. Pretty much everything you could do wrong with a firearm, he did wrong. He did everything shy of pointing the gun at his own face to check if there was a bullet in it, so he really probably should get some tutoring there. Check out a YouTuber Reddit professional, perhaps, to give him some advice. But really, his apology video is pretty sound. I don't want to put the tinfoil condom on or anything, but how many of us think this could have been premeditated for publicity, huh? I mean, I kind of see it in his eyes. Like, why would he have his gun on his desk, right? Like, I just saw John Wick. I'm going to let some lead fly tonight, get some people pretty energized. But then, damn, blasted my own G Fuel can. It's possible. Unlikely, but I've seen a little speculation. I've also seen a lot of people talking about the punishment being too harsh, considering no one was injured. But I think it's a great lesson to everyone out there not to play with firearms while doing shoeies. Yeah, maybe your parents did it and they're okay, but that doesn't mean you'll be as lucky. All in all, I have to say I really am wishing Carl the best moving forward. This was a mistake that cost him greatly. And I hope it's something he can bounce back from, because I do appreciate the way he handled the consequences. He really manned up, took the cock on the chin and said, you know what, I fucked up and I'm going to be better. And I believe he probably will be. So good luck to Carl moving forward, and let this be a very powerful lesson to everyone out there that guns are not a toy to fuck around with, especially not when you've been taking shoeies to the mouth for an hour. That's about it. So yeah.
How did my whole speech about how I need subs to keep the stream going, if you like the content, blah, 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 how that results in 0 subs? There are regulars here. $5 a month. How do you have hours of time to watch me and not $5? I don't know. What are you doing with your life where you have hours of time to watch Twitch and not $5 to provide for the content that you're watching? Because it's like people just really really don't respect me as a content creator.
Well, this Parasite's right about one thing: nobody respects her as a content creator. Now, I'm not going to mention this streamer by name because I'm pretty sure she loves negative publicity. She does fucked up shit all the time just to get her name out there. She subscribes to the idea that all publicity is good publicity, but fails to realize that when you as a person are your own brand and rely on people liking you for money, having a negative public image literally fucking ruins you. And this one is definitely bigger than she anticipated, because no one likes someone this shamelessly greedy. She is a streamer who runs political talk shows, but the majority of the stream is spent begging and shaming people into giving her money. And it's some of the most pathetic shit I've seen on Twitch. And I've seen a lot of pitiful, sad shit on Twitch. I saw a man finger his butthole for a $20 donation on Twitch, and I still have more respect for that than I do her. At least him sticking his fingers in his asshole was more fun than all of her streams combined. And somehow him putting nearly his whole fist in his chocolate starfish was still classier than any of this girl's streams. At least he had the decency to not shame the viewers into giving him $20 for sticking fingers up his brown balloon knot. He wasn't on stream going, hello, you broke cheap ass viewers, I'm sitting here with my beautiful asshole goat seat into the camera, and nobody's giving me $20. My speech about giving me $20 and I'll finger my asshole didn't give me any money. What the fuck is wrong with you? He was very simple about it. He's like, you know what, $20 and I'll finger this asshole right here. You don't have to do it, but if you do, I'll fucking finger myself. And that's how it went. She's over here making a whole song and dance about it, making everyone just feel fucking uncomfortable, and she feels so entitled to their money, which she absolutely doesn't deserve. She provides no value whatsoever. You might as well just flush $5 down a toilet. That's more value than giving it to this girl.
Expecting and blah, blah, blah. Like, how are you consuming this free entertainment? Like, how do you think free entertainment is available to you? It's because other people actually provide money so you can be a cheap ass. That's it. Other people provide money because they're generous and they see like a thing that they want to support, a form of entertainment they want to support, and then you leech. But that's the reality of it, period. Period. If you're watching Twitch as a non-donating, non-sub, you are leeching. Does that mean that you should feel bad about it? I don't know. But the reality is that you are leeching.
Such a laughable sense of entitlement, especially when she has no talent at all. Also, she's not making $0 from viewers that watch her for free. Twitch itself places an ad at the beginning of your stream, so when someone clicks on your stream, you're getting money just from that click. And I'm pretty sure she plays ads throughout her streams, which also gets her money from viewers that aren't donating or subbing to her. So I don't know why the fuck she thinks she possibly has the right to complain about not getting an extra $5 from people that either can't afford to or just don't want to because she isn't earning that $5. And she absolutely isn't earning that $5. All she does is insult the chat. She doesn't provide anything at all of value, and I'm pretty sure she hates streaming and only does it to just try and get money out of viewers or guilt them into giving her money, which is super shitty. I'd say 95% of all streamers, myself included, I stream daily on Twitch at twitch.tv/moistcritical. Come stop by if you want to put a few extra inches on your penis. I'd say 95% of all streamers do it just because they love streaming. I know I do. I don't think the majority of streamers are going around just constantly begging for subs and donations, but I know there definitely are a few, her being the biggest culprit, but I'd say the majority of streamers aren't like that.
Chat! I haven't got a donation or a sub for an hour. What the fuck? For an hour? What the fuck? An hour when I fucking working for free? What the fuck?
What a horrible, embarrassing perspective for someone to take on something like this. She has the worst possible attitude. I'm not going to go into her disgusting past. She's done a lot of really fucked up shit and said some fucked up shit. But just this perspective of hers that she is so adamant about, where if you are not paying her, you are a piece of shit. She calls you names, she calls you out by your screen name if she sees you're not subbed. She is the most standoffish, unlikable person on that platform. And it's gotta be kind of embarrassing to be a subscriber to this girl because she's openly hostile and doesn't give a fuck about it. Only there to siphon $5 out of your wallet every month because she feels entitled to it, as if you're just holding her money for her because you flip on her stream to fall asleep to it once every 3 months. But yeah, this narcissist is probably the greediest person on Twitch. She's like the Mr. Krabs of streaming, but not nearly as cool as Mr. Krabs because she has a shitty personality, a horrible attitude, and the worst perspective on things on that entire platform.
And the reason why this is getting retweeted and liked so much is because she's an attractive woman who didn't act like a nice person, which is what makes sexually frustrated incels angry. Woman not acting, woman out of her place, me mad.
Yeah, this hero decides to make it an issue about her being a woman, despite the fact that that is irrelevant to why people don't like it. It's because people don't like someone that says shit like that, and it is that greedy and that disrespectful and that entitled. It has nothing to do with her being a woman. But this guy's trying to score some of those brownie points. Oh, streamer, please look at me fight for you on Twitter. Please let down your long hair so I may take my $5 and climb up and woo you over. It's also really cute that Mike over here decides to call everyone that disagrees with her perspective an incel when he himself is like the fucking king of incels. Check out his first interaction with the streamer.
That's fine.
I think that's fine. So if a guy pays for my tab,
I think I'm getting your attention. I feel like I touched like a vampire touching holy water.
can I help you?
Well, I think they want to go in.
Okay.
Whoa there, Mike. I think you made her a little too wet with that alpha energy. Yeah, man, you've definitely got a lot of room to be tossing the word incel around, huh? With game like that? What a fucking player. Great work, Mike. There are people sticking up for her, of course. Buyer's remorse. They've already paid for the subscription and now they feel like they need to justify it to everyone in the world. Like what you like who you like, it's totally fucking fine. But there's very clear reasons why people don't like what she said that have nothing to do with her being a woman, Mike. It has to do with her attitude and her disrespect and that sense of entitlement that she thinks everyone has to fucking pay her to watch her, and then she guilts them into it and shames them and makes them fucking feel bad and attacks them for it, which is wrong, Mike. It's just fucking wrong and it's shitty. It's a bad look and it's pathetic. But anyway, yeah, that's about it. So yeah.